I'm DBG. I'm about to do an interview with TOOLITPROMOTIONS. We about to get it started.
Okay, where you from?
So I'm from Albuquerque, New Mexico. Most memories from the Bay though. So we got love out there in Cali on the West Coast.
Yeah, how was it kind of coming up in Albuquerque?
It was cool. It's cool. It just depends on where you at. Cause I didn't went to like every fucking school. Just growing up in Albuquerque, it really does depend on where you at. So if you grow up over there in the South Valley or some shit, you don't have niggas testing you out of school all the time. Just talking about where you from and this, that, over on the West Side. It was pretty chilling though, cause that's where I grew up, mainly on the West Side.
Okay, what's some of like the good memories growing up?
I say with my stepbrother, Lil Burner, we was just always on some thug ass shit. Just always going crazy. Causing mayhem, always pulling up to roller skate city and shit, fucking shit up, fighting niggas, partying and shit. Over there trying to pull up to the Too-Late parties, you know what I mean?
Oh, word.
The dealers.
Okay, that's hot. So what's some of like the bad memories growing up? Trials, tribulations?
Definitely losing homies for sure. It's just like, a lot of niggas just got big egos and shit to prove for the wrong, like, they really lose their life and everything over a little situation to prove that they have bigger balls than somebody, and that shit's just lame as hell. Anybody could shoot a gun. You know what I mean? Like, real man, you finna do what the fuck you gotta do to take care of your people and just stay on your shit. That's just like the big negative out here. Everybody thinks because they got a gun, they on some G shit. But that shit don't make you gangster at all. You know what I mean? That shit's for protection. Live by the gun, you die by the gun.
How would you label yourself? What do you be doing?
I just say I'm a hustler. I'm wherever money's at, you know what I mean? This music shit is just something I like to do. I ain't even gonna lie. A lot of people be trying to make like really a big career out of it. Like if I could, of course I would, but I just do this shit because I like to. That shit G when you be on the road or some shit, taking a risk and shit, and you be bumping your own music. Especially when you know you live in what you're talking about. Other these rap niggas ain't really be on that shit for real. You rapping whatever the fuck they think people want to hear.
And so how kind of did you get started in the music?
I gotta shout out my nigga Young Prophet. I can't even lie. Like I ain't really even took myself that serious in music until I started hanging out with my niggas. And he was like, bro, you the hardest motherfucker I met. Like when it comes to this rap shit, like you gotta take this shit serious. Motherfucking believe in yourself. Like bro gave me confidence for showing that lane. He always be going live and shit like DBG freestyle, nigga, you got that shit for sure. He's like, you fucking got it. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm gonna roll with my nigga.
You know, that's clean RP for sure.
So steady profits for no matter what.
So what's your most popular song?
For sure, Show You. That's with my nigga Prophet. That's the only song we got together. We made that shit in 15 minutes on some freestyle shit. Like,
What's your personal favorite song that you made?
Probably some unreleased shit. I ain't even gonna lie. I have so many shit unreleased. I feel like I'm just trying to like get my sound right, evolve. Like, you know, I ain't trying to put out the same bullshit everybody else could put out. Like, trying to put something better out. But you know,
Yeah, I feel you.
I don't know. I need to start dropping more. Everybody gonna see that soon. They're gonna see the music that a nigga really like to do.
What's your name and how did you get it?
So DBG, I was gonna start as dboygoonest with my boy Project at the time. He had like said, cause we was in GM, this little clique, Goon Mafia. Like we was just like on some rap shit. We was some young niggas just like on some like freestyle shit more or less. We just be chilling, like get high as hell, freestyle and shit. So it was like we Goon Mafia, and I'm like, oh, instead of chillest, put Goon in that bitch, like you dboygoonest. And D-Boy, that's always been my dad. My dad's always went by D-Boy. Like, everybody in the streets, Albuquerque know he on some G shit. Like, he the real D-Boy, for real. dboygoonest, just abbreviated that shit, DBG. I've just been rocking with that shit since. Everybody knows me as DBG.
What's your thoughts on the local scene, Albuquerque scene?
I feel like this should be popping. Like, niggas would just hate less. Like, if niggas was just more worried about being successful and, like, stuff in their bag and just, like, trying to show love to the next nigga, then it'd be better. I just feel like we get in a lot of people that ain't from here, so this shit has potential, you know what I mean? Like, we could blow this bitch up. Like, this year, the music scene is starting to look a lot better. Like, this is the best I ever seen, I can't lie. It was cool, we getting recognized for the show, but we just need to have someone put the motherfucking city on the map already, you know what I mean?
So you got any outlooks on business, like marketing tactics or tips?
I feel like when it comes to business, you just need to stick to a script. Like, just do, like, if you have a plan, just do that shit. Life's too short to just sit there and be like, oh, I don't know, I'm scared. Like, you gotta take risks. Like, you know what I mean? If you ain't taking risks, you ain't gonna ever be on some boss shit. Like people up there that people look up to and they're like, oh, this boy ballin', he had this, he had that, he done took 1,000 risks, you know what I mean? Probably half of that shit. But it's not about the hours to tell you like come back from that shit. So I just say like be ready to take losses, but don't let that shit make you. You know what I mean? That's the best lesson in anything when you're trying to do something in life, good, especially business wise.
Yeah, that's cool.
So, like, on your P's and Q's, you know what I mean? Just stay smart, of course, but don't be scared to take risks.
Do you believe in aliens?
Honestly, I ain't even gonna cap to you. I think aliens be on some. They real for sure. No lie. Like, there be some weird shit I be seeing in the sky and all some shit. Like, we have Roswell over here, you know what I mean? Like, we have proof that there's motherfucking aliens.
Proof.
But I don't know, they just be on some weird shit. Like, I don't know. They niggas be on some.
Yeah, I think they slick.
I don't know about that. Like, I ain't fucking with aliens. I ain't gonna get too into that because I don't want them to fuck with me. Probably, you know, the only one trying to fuck with aliens, man.
Yeah, they got you. So, Coach, your favorite food?
I ain't gonna cap, like, it's hard because tacos is good as fuck, but then chicken wings is right there. Tacos is like the best of both worlds. Like, you, enchiladas, yeah, I'm gonna say enchiladas, because, yeah, them chili chicken enchiladas, the motherfuckers slap. I'm gonna just say that's the number one for sure.
So, okay, a couple more questions. You got any words of encouragement?
I would say just love yourself. That's like the best thing you could do. Don't be worried about what the next motherfucker thinks, what the next bitch thinks. Like, don't worry about none of that shit. Like, ain't nobody ever gonna, like, help you do what you need to do to get where you wanna be, then they ain't important. You know what I mean? Just do you. Stick to that shit. Get you where you wanna be by staying dedicated, you know what I mean? You gotta work for that shit. People just expect shit to get handed to them. You ain't born with a silver spoon, you need to go work for one, you know what I mean? Go get it. Don't let anybody knock your motherfucking hustle. Don't let anybody knock your character. Be yourself. Love yourself.
That's clean, that's clean. So how'd you hear about Tulip Promotions?
You know you've been popping in this city for a minute though. I don't know, but I heard about Tulit since I was younger. Like, that'd be the parties where you like, oh, you wanna go to a party and not get shot at? Go to a Tulit party and go turn up. Like, they make sure that shit on point, you feel me? And we just always get turned up. Like, every weekend it's like, hey, you see that little flyer saying Tulit? Let's go turn up. Let's go turn up. And then this shit really just started getting big for real. Like, you started doing music videos and interviews. And I was just peeping that shit because it's good to see someone doing something good for the city besides, like, promote dumb shit. Like, you would make sure shit was cool and, like, shit would go as planned, so that shit was just always lit, you know what I mean? You just be catching vibes for sure. Number one shout out I'm gonna say is just my nigga Young Prophet, RIP. We definitely doing that shit for you. Shout out Murder Block, we always putting on. Shout out Tula, of course. Shout out my boy Scuzz, my boy Peasy. Like, the whole game's going crazy. My boy Sosa. Like, we all just doing this. We got a little motion. My boy Eli, of course. My boy Destroy. This nigga go crazy. I'm gonna stop playing with my boy for real, too. He about to be the one to take off on this bitch. I guarantee it.
Last question, how would you define music?
I would say it's art. It's a way of, like, people to express themselves. Like, sometimes I just be throwing on beats. I'm just rapping. I don't give a fuck about if it's recorded and there's a video, someone seen it or not. I'm just trying to say what the fuck I got on my mind. So I feel like music's just a way to express yourself. It's art. This DBG with TOOLITPROMOTIONS. Love y'all. Big Murder Block. Profit Spoil. Love y'all.
All these games that we be playing, fuck around, gon' wipe his nose.